This week we're going to be talking about sentences, what makes a correct sentence, and different kinds of sentences, and how to punctuate those sentences. And this is going to be important because at the end of this week we're going to be working on some revision of our personal narrative. And if you don't know about correct sentences, then it's going to be really hard for you to make those revisions. So, all we're going to learn about, this shouldn't be learning, this should be reviewing. You've been talking about complete sentences since you learned to write a sentence, which would be kindergarten. So this should be a super fast video and a super fast review, but pay attention because I bet you're a little bit rusty. So today we're going to talk about sentence fragments and run-ons, as well as complete sentences. So what is a sentence fragment? A sentence fragment is a group of words, but it doesn't state a complete thought. Sometimes your fragment could be missing a subject, and sometimes it could be missing a verb. Other times, a fragment might look like it has a subject and a verb, but it's still expressing a thought that isn't complete. So these are fragments. Took the books. I don't know who took the books. So this is not a complete thought. My mom and dad. Doesn't it sound like something should come next? It's because something should come next. We just have a subject. We don't know what mom and dad did. This one is the one that sounds like it has a subject and a verb. It really doesn't. It's not complete. A puppy crying in Matt's backyard. Again, doesn't it feel like something should come next? There are simple ways to fix these fragments and turn them into complete sentences. You just have to give them what they're missing. So now we can add, we had took the books before. We added Carlos. Now we know who took the books. Carlos took the books. Before we had mom and dad. So my mom and dad bought a new car. Now we know what mom and dad did. It's a complete thought. This one we fixed very simply by completing the verb. Crying is something that we do. We've always been told that verbs are things that we can do. But it was missing this very important word here. Now our sentence reads, a puppy is crying in Matt's backyard. Now that sentence is complete. Sometimes a writer makes a fragment look like a complete sentence. A writer starts a fragment with a capital letter and ends it with a period, but the fragment is still a fragment. It does not express a complete thought. So you cannot write a complete sentence just by adding that capital letter or that period. It has to have the complete thought embedded in those words. So here are some fragments. How can we fix these and turn them into sentences? Wrote a long letter to Granddad. I can fix that sentence with one letter. I. I wrote a long letter to Granddad. To the store on the corner. Think about how you would make that a complete sentence. How about, I am going to the store on the corner. Forgot his sister's birthday. We just need to tell who did that. Bob forgot his sister's birthday. So in these sentences, all they need are subjects. I am going, and Bob. Now let's talk about run-on sentences. A run-on is when you have two or more sentences put together without the correct punctuation or capitalization. A reader can't tell where one sentence ends and the next one begins. So Rafael is watching television and his sister is going skating. This is a run-on sentence. It's two sentences put together. One sentence tells us about Rafael, the other sentence tells about his sister. There's no punctuation between the two sentences, and there's no capital letter to show where the second sentence begins. It's also missing a conjunction, which could happen to put those two sentences together to make a compound sentence. Rafael is watching television and his sister is going skating and would solve the problem of that sentence. So I just gave this answer away. We can fix this sentence by writing it into two. Rafael is watching television, period, capital H. His sister is going skating. Or we can use a conjunction to connect. We'll use a different conjunction this time. Rafael is watching television, comma, but his sister is going skating. Now, either way, now we do not have a run-on sentence. So let's look at these sentences and figure out if they're run-ons or not. And if they are, we're going to fix them. My cousin works at the mall. She sells jewelry. It is two sentences. Where does the first sentence end? It does end at the end of the mall. My cousin works at the mall. Period. Capital S. She sells jewelry. Or we could say, my cousin works at the mall and she sells jewelry. Frankie went to the movies on Saturday. Is this a run-on sentence? If it is, where would you put a period? I can't put a period anywhere else in this sentence and still have it make sense. Frankie went, not a sentence. Frankie went to, not a sentence. It doesn't work. This is just a complete sentence. My friend Caleb has a pet snake. Its name is Emerald. Right, this is a run-on sentence. Where would I put the period? Where does the first thought end? Yes, after snake. My friend Caleb has a pet snake. Period. Capital I. Its name is Emerald. Leo can't play outside today. It is raining. Is this a run-on sentence? Yes. I can fix it a couple different ways. Where would I put a period if I wanted to make it two sentences? Where does the first thought end? Leo can't play outside today. Period. Capital I. It is raining. Or I could say Leo can't play outside today because it is raining. And now it's not a run-on sentence. We have a soccer field on our school playground. One thought or two? That one is just one thought. Here's how we know this is a complete sentence. Who is the sentence about? We have a soccer field in our school playground. We. What do we do? Well, we have a soccer field. Is there another we in the sentence? No. Is there another thing we do in the sentence? No. It simply has a subject and a verb, a subject and a predicate. That's how we know this is a complete sentence. All right, now that we have identified sentences and their structure, let's look at what you're going to be asked to do today. Oops, sorry. So it says, let's practice determining if sentences are complete, fragments, or run-ons. I'm trying to get where I want to be here too. Here we go. So you need to remember a complete sentence has a subject and a predicate. It expresses a complete thought. A fragment sentence is usually missing either the subject or the predicate, but the most important thing is it doesn't express a complete thought. And a run-on sentence has two or more sentences joined, but they don't have proper punctuation or capitalization, or they don't have a conjunction to make it a compound sentence. This is what you'll do today. First, you'll type your first and last name here, and then you'll look at the sentence to learn these things. Okay? Who or what is the sentence is about? Let me try that again. Who or what is this sentence about? I don't know either. It doesn't say. It just says to learn these things. I don't know who's learning. I don't know what's learning. So I know this is an incomplete sentence. Is it a fragment or is it a run-on? Well, it doesn't even make one complete sentence. It sure can't make two complete sentences, right? So this is definitely going to be a sentence fragment. So you're going to choose sentence fragment and you're going to move on. Okay? I need you to answer all 10 of these. I just gave you one of them. When you're done, click submit and move on. As always, if you have any questions, please email me and I will help you just as quickly as I possibly can. All right, go find those sentences.